Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everyone, wherever you are. We will wait another 4 to 5 minutes, then we will start our program. Let other people join. Welcome, everyone. So, today is the second day of our training program. Welcome you, welcome everyone. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are joining. And now it is 7 p.m. in India, and we are waiting for our participants who are trying to join, but due to poor internet connection, they are sending me messages that they are trying to join, but they are now unable. They will join within a few minutes. So we should wait for a few minutes for them. And welcome in the second day of this training program on yes.
Mm,
Can you
Thank you
hear
so
me?
much.
Yes.
I'm
Excuse me.
saying good evening, everyone. Thank you
Yes.
so much for this great session. Yesterday was a great, fruitful and informative session. Hope today also.
Thank you. Good evening, Dr. Wesam. good evening, and it's now 7:10 p.m. in India, and we are starting now. So,
Good evening. Can you hear me now?
yes, I can hear you well.
Yep, okay.
Dr. Wissam Al Madhun from he is Dean of Engineering Faculty, Gaza University, Palestine. And from University Sans Malaysia, he from where he has done his postdoctoral fellowship at Malaysia Japan International Institute of Technology and a fellowship on sustainable cities at Massachusetts Institute of Technology. He has 20 years of working experience in teaching, training, research, and consultancy work. He is the founder of Global Ambassador of Sustainability, which has more than 11,600 members from 120 countries. And he is the inspiration, he is our main inspiration in teaching, training, research, and consultancy work. Now he is working as Dean of Engineering Faculty, Gaza University, Palestine, and he has performed his assignments of many countries like Malaysia, Brunei, Indonesia, South Korea, USA, and Canada. Dr. Wissam, many people are listening your words. They are waiting and they are joining in YouTube. And here, more than 10 participants here. These are the meeting links for speakers, and many people are joining in YouTube. So the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you so much for the invitation, Dr. Sangamitra. I appreciate your efforts for organizing this program, which is, crucial in this era where people are concerned about climate change mitigation, and adaptation. So I would like also to thank all the participants of this program, and I think this is a good platform for sharing knowledge and also building the network and exchanging ideas on how to mitigate and adapt with climate change. And I think this is in line with what the Global Ambassadors of Sustainability is trying to promote for the last 2 years. So I think this is one more program which will motivate people to work towards combating climate change, which is now becoming a threat for the humanity, and people need to work together so that to find new ways and exchange ideas on how to deal with the climate change and how to mitigate climate change, and at worst case scenario on how to adapt with the changes. And I think the changes now is being felt by all the communities all over the world, and to in some extent, as I mentioned, it is a life threatening risk where there is a lot of islands now at risk of sinking because of the climatic change. So again, I would like to appreciate the efforts of Dr. Sangamitra for her continuous efforts and support for the programs. And I think this is one more program by the Indian team of Global Ambassadors of Sustainability in trying to promote sustainability and trying to keep the discussion on climate change mitigation and adaptation. And I hope this program will be fruitful for the participants. And we are looking forward for more collaborations to promote those values and to make a more peaceful and a more resilient, a more sustainable communities globally. So thank you so much, Dr. Sangamitra, and thanks for all the participants. And I'm looking forward to collaborate with you in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Wesa, for your valuable introductory lecture. And now I'm going to Mr. Obed Nimke, who is an expert of accounting and finance from St. John University, Tanzania. He was the vice principal of Sukrani International College for 4 years. He is engaged in capacity building and in small and medium business, agricultural marketing, cooperative society, and project coordinator of many international projects in many countries. So, Mr. Obed Nemke, the floor is yours. Please unmute yourself, Mr. Obed Namke. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Mr. Obed Namke? Please unmute yourself. You are muted. Your voice is not clear. We can't hear you properly. Mr. Obed Nemke, we can't hear you properly. We can't hear you. Your voice is not clear. Voice is breaking. We can't hear your voice. Mr. Obed Namki, can you hear me? We can't hear your voice. Please try to join after a few minutes because your internet connection is not good and we can't hear you. And now I am going to start my own presentation. And this is climate resilient disaster risk management system in India. So greenhouse gases are the most significant drivers of climate change, and greenhouse gas protocol establishes a comprehensive global standardized frameworks to measure and manage greenhouse gas emissions from private and public sector operations, value chains and mitigation actions. India is currently developing a National Inventory Management System or NIMS that will coordinate consistently with the supporting institutions with adequate capacity for the preparation of national communications and biennial update reports on a continuous basis. This slide shows the list of climate related disasters in India, which are flood, cyclone, tornado, hurricane, cloudburst, heat waves, cold waves, snow avalanche, droughts, sea erosion, thunder and lightning and tsunami. The climate change is affecting the people of many countries, especially developing countries like India, and habitats of several plant and animal species which must either adapt or migrate to areas with more favorable conditions, and some are on the verge of extinction. Even small changes in average temperature and precipitation can have a significant effect upon ecosystem. It's hard to care about climate and know what actions to take or advocate for it if we don't know what emissions are or what we can do about them. So, this is the methodology which are generally followed to prepare web-based program for mitigation of climate change. And the dominant source of carbon dioxide emissions in India is the combustion of coal, which contributes 70% to total fossil carbon dioxide emissions in 2019. Although there is more coal in the energy mix than other fuels, the proportion of coal in fossil fuel emissions in India has been generally declining since 1940s, when coal accounted for more than 95% of all fossil carbon dioxide emissions. Furthermore, from a per capita perspective, with 1.37 billion people, India's emissions has increased from 1.1 metric tons of carbon dioxide per capita in 2001 to 1.9 metric tons in 2019. It's well below the world average of about 4.7 metric tons of carbon dioxide per capita. So, the greenhouse gas emissions are the major sources of pollution of Indian urban areas. The methodology which are followed are identification of wells and rain gauging station for collection of temperature and rainfall data, then data transmission, data compilation, data processing and analyzing to form a web-based program, and it is spread through mobile, SMS or internet, and hydrological or geohydrological data are found in this web. And expected outcome are prediction of water excess or scarcity villages on real-time basis using the decision support tool. This map shows the India's climatic disaster risk map. The six-step climate risk management or CRM process operations climate risk management at scale. The 6 steps process which are essential to management for climate disaster is preparation of climatic disaster risk map are assessment and match information needs with risk management objectives. Second, define the system of interest. Third, development of context specific methodology. Fourth, risk identification to identify low and high level of climate related risk. 5. The risk evaluation to identify the acceptable, tolerable, and intolerable risk. And 6. The assessment of risk management options. So, this is the map of India which shows the climatic disaster risk of different states and union territories. Some areas are cyclone prone, some areas are flood prone, drought prone, hot desert, or cold deserts. All are found in India. So, we are doing some case study in Uttarakhand, Kedarnath Valley. Northern India receives increased rainfall over the years since the year 1980. So, first we have identified the heavy rainfall areas, which was amplified by the short waves in the upper troposphere due to increased level of aerosols and greenhouse gases. The post 1980 climate trends were responsible for a sudden spike of 60 to 90% of rains received in this region. The environmentalists across the world blamed unscientific and unethical industrial and residential development in this region. These photographs shows before and after the disaster of Kedarnath Valley in June 2013 and then again in June 2019 and June 2020. So each and after heavy monsoon, there is a risk of heavy flood, landslides, cloudburst, etc. New resorts are popping up in this region in every nook and corners across the rivers, road construction in a chaotic manner, and the authorities nod to over 70 hydroelectric projects in the watersheds. The tunnels, drilling, and blasts carried out for hydroelectric projects shook the ecological balance, and the natural flow of the rivers were restricted, so the development activity made the ground more susceptible to landslides, and flooding. So this is the climatic risk management system process for assessing loss and damage. Although greenhouse gas emissions are projected to drop about by 6% in 2020 due to travel bans and economic slowdown resulting from COVID-19 pandemic, the improvement is only temporary. Climate change is a problem now, and once the global economy begins to recover from the pandemic, emissions are expected to return to higher levels. Saving lives and livelihood require urgent action to address both the pandemic and climate emergency. So, the climate risk management analysis is divided into 6 steps. Datasets and methods calculating emissions and temperature and rainfall is a multi-step process for estimating greenhouse gas emissions from industrial processes and product use. IPCC guidelines are now employed in India. The activity data for the various industries are sourced from national statistical organizations, the annual reports of ministries of the government of India, from listed companies, research organizations, trade magazines, and directly from the various industry associations in that order of priority. India's total greenhouse gas emissions in 2018 were 3,202 million metric tons of carbon dioxide equivalent, totaling 6.55% of global greenhouse gas emission. The India's greenhouse gas program is based on and specially recommends referring to greenhouse gas protocols corporate standard for guidance on the entire inventory development process. The inventory is organized according to the IPCC guidelines and covers 6 sectors: energy, industrial processes, productive and agriculture, land use and land use change, and forestry and waste management. Greenhouse gas removals by sinks occur in the land use change and forestry sector. As a result, management of activities is protected areas and reforestation are the main mitigation measures. Now I am coming to government policies and illustrative sections of hotspot states system of interest. States in each climate sensitive region in the country as listed in step 1 are subjected to various selection criteria to assess their feasibility as a suitable system of interest for implementation of the CRM framework being developed. So, on 18 July 2014, the India's greenhouse gas program launched the greenhouse gas accounting tool to mainstream the measurement and management of greenhouse gas emission in Indian business. The Government of India launched National Action Plan on Climate Change on 30th June 2008, outlining 8 national missions on climate change. The Department of Science and Technology, Ministry of Science and Technology, was entrusted with the responsibilities of coordinating 2 out of these 8 national missions on climate change. These are National Mission on Sustainable Himalayan Ecosystem and National Mission on Strategic Knowledge for Climate Change. Risk is a function of hazard, exposure, and vulnerability according to IPCC. So, there are climate, natural variability, anthropogenic climate change, emissions, and land use change. All our factors are correlated with climate change. Socioeconomic processes and adaptation and mitigation technologies and good governance all are related to climate change. India has also been taking tangible steps to keep its Paris Agreement commitment intact. So, specifically, by keeping carbon dioxide emissions low and mitigating intensity. Road transport is the largest consumer of commercial fuel energy within this transport system of India, and the government of India approved the National Mission on Electric Mobility in 2011 and subsequently National Mission on Electric Mobility Plan 2020 was unveiled in 2013. As a part of this project, India strongly is encouraging and promoting hybrid and electric vehicles in the country. Although greenhouse gas emissions are projected to drop about by 200 million tons in 2020 due to travel bans and economic slowdowns resulting from COVID-19 pandemic, but this improvement is not permanent. So these are case studies. The risk concept as applied to sudden onset and slow onset processes. Urbanization in India, like Smart City Mission and Auto Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation, both centrally sponsored schemes were launched on 25th June 2015. Under this project, 100 smart cities have been selected through a two-state competition. The population growth is projected to slow down and will have a progressively smaller effect on emissions in the next decades. Continuous structural changes to the Indian economy, including changes from a focus on manufacturing to service sectors, is already taking place in India and should be encouraged in the coming years. A recent microbehavioral based study showed that as Indian industries develop technologically, carbon taxes do not adversely affect industrial productivity, thus becoming an increasingly better policy option in India. These types of assessment studies are currently carried for climate change mitigation activities, and a web-based program which would use the statistical models and real-time data for flood and drought prediction is now necessary for India. The web-based tools has three distinct features, like built-in statistical models to analyze the historical data on rainfall and its pattern, assessing the probability of occurrence of rainfall of different magnitudes, and standard precipitation index. Based on the observed cyclonic activities between 1891 and 2019, on an average, at least 5 cyclones are developing over North Indian Ocean in a year, and with an average of 4 cyclonic activities developing over Bay of Bengal, and 1 cyclonic activity is developing over the Arabian Sea. So, in conclusion, we can say that pursuing knowledge and practices that can lead to more environmental friendly and ecologically responsible decision and lifestyles which can help to protect the environment and sustain its natural resources for current and future generations. Eco-friendly products can promote the green living that helps to conserve energy and also prevent air, water and noise pollution. They prove to be boons for the environment and also prevent human health for deterioration. We should practice integrated risk management for decades to prevent climate related hazards. Joining hands with stakeholders across administrative levels and between government and civil societies and communities has been a crucial aspect for effectively reducing the climate risk. The United Nations proposed 6 climate positive actions for governments to take once they go about building back their economies and societies. Like green transition, investments must accelerate the decarbonization of all aspects of our economy. Green jobs for sustainable and inclusive growth. Green economy like making societies and people more resilient through a transition that is fair to all and leaves no one behind. Investment in sustainable solutions. Fossil fuel subsidies must end and polluters must pay for their pollution. Confront all climatic risk and cooperation among countries at international level and national level. So this is the reference page. Thank you for your valuable time. Dear friends, if you have any question, you can ask me. Thank you for joining us today. After 5 days, another 5 days, I will mail you the links for pledges and certificates. Plus, please don't forget to join every day at the same time at 1:30 p.m. GMT, and tomorrow at the same time we will start our next program. Thank you for joining us today. Have a nice day. Mr. Obed Nemke, your connection is now okay? You are muted. We can't hear you. Mr. Obed Nemke? Yes.
Hello, Dominic.
Thank you for joining us today.
Okay, thank you. But sorry for being late. There was a problem of internet.
Please start your lecture. Please start your lecture.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Before starting the lecture, also, I just want to congratulate you for preparing this event, which is a very big and good event with a positive impact to the world. But in this issue of green of mitigations, we are going to discuss more how the community can participate on avoiding this or reducing the problem of climate change. In history, we say that the climate change began many years, more than 2 million years. That's the time when this issue of climate change begins. And that time, then it came to grow so much after the image of Homo sapiens, new generation or new human Homo sapiens at that time. But automatically from that time, it has many impact, socially, economically, and politically, which we have been observing many times in our countries. But we say that this issue, it has sparked more during the industrial revolutions when there is a they produce more carbon dioxide in the industries. So in this time, we are going to discuss what the causes, who is supposed to be responsible to handle this problem or to mitigate the problem of climate change, and how the community can participate, but also we can discuss about the stakeholders. So who is the causes, who is the source of these problems? We say that climate change, it can be caused due to the natural force or sometimes due to the human activities. Human activities are the main causes of this issue because they engage in many issues which produce the gas which has negative impact to the ozone or to the atmosphere. So at this time, when we talk about who is going to be responsible to mitigate this issue, I think the best things which we have to do is to involve the whole communities in all levels in terms of status, political figures, even the community other who doing or engaging in agricultural activities, in the industries, and the other activities which has direct impact to the atmosphere. But in order to solve this issue, we should start with who is going to be the main actors in these problems. We say that the actors can be the government in terms of global or local, but also we must engage policymakers. When they are making the policy, they should involve the issue, the issue of avoiding climate change. But also we can involve businessmen. The big challenge of businessmen, they focus more on profit, but they forget about the issue of climate change. So they're also in struggling or in trying to mitigate the problem of climate change. We must involve the people or the businessmen because they are part of the polluters or the people, the producers of carbon dioxide gas and other gases which has poison in the or affect the atmosphere. So to me today, I'm going to present this issue in many causes. What are the indicators of climate change? We have many indicators of climate change at today's, which appears from the beginning to the end of this of climate change, and there are many effects which can cause these problems. The one of the causes we say emission of greenhouse gases. We have been emitting greenhouse gases in many social or in our activities. We have been emitting many greenhouse gases. And the greenhouse gases, it has a negative impact to atmosphere. The second effect is about deforestation. Many people, they engaging in, some of them engage in agriculture and the other engage in pastoralism. They participate 100% in destroying or in cutting the forest, which is natural ways of mitigating or reducing the issue of greenhouses. The second is overutilization of resources. We are overutilizing the resource more. So due to the overutilization of resources, we bring the negative impact to the ozone or to the atmosphere as it fails to absorb the chemical and other things which it produced. And the other things we say change of solar output. Change of solar output. This is something which causes also to affect the atmosphere, and as a result, it have the negative impact to the climate change and contributing the effect on the climate change. Another thing, so let's talk about the effect, we say rising of maximum temperature. The issue of temperature we have observed in our country, especially in Tanzania. Mbeya regional always is the cool regional. But in 2021, we observed the highest temperature, which we believe that is one of the indicators of the effect, the result of climate change. The second, raising of temperature and also raising of sea level. This is the effect of climate change. Another effect is the increase in heavy precipitations, which resulted into heavy rainfalls. Then the heavy rainfall resulted into floods and other effect to the human, as an example, economic effect, destruction of roads, and the other things. Another effect is the shrinking of glaciers. Shrinking of glaciers. And lastly, there is a many raising of maximum temperatures. And at this time, we talk about how the climate change it has the impact to the human beings. We say that the climate change it has many impact to the human beings in forms of increase in hunger because it destroys the production and reduce the productivity of the soil and the other resource manures. Also, health risk through raising of temperature, it creates some of diseases to the human beings. For example, cancers and others. Also, the increase and spread of pests who have negative impact to the crops have negative impact also to the human beings. And the other effect, we say lose of biodiversity. We lose biodiversity and limited adaptability and adaptability speed of flora and fauna who have the good contribution in the organic manures or in the soil to reproduce the manures or to process or to come up with the good scenario. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you for your valuable lecture. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. And with
thank you.
With the valuable lecture of Mr. Obed Nemke, now I am concluding this session. And dear participants, if you have any question, you can ask our great speaker, Mr. Nemke. You can write in the chat also if you have any question. So I hope there is no question. Thank you for joining us today. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Sorry for being late, Doctor.
No. It's not your problem. Internet connectivity is really, we are depending on it. Really.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
So we can't do anything if internet connectivity is poor. Thank you for joining us today.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.